Okay. All right, let me see. Making sure we're not having any technical difficulties here before we get started. Okay, I think we're live on Facebook. Let me check real quick. I want to make sure before we go. Okay, we are live on Facebook, and I don't hear any feedback coming through my Zoom account to Facebook, so we're good there. Hey, everybody, welcome to this interview with my friend Scott. I've been super excited about this interview with him. Just to give you guys a little background story, and we'll get to know him a little bit better as we go through this interview, but Scott has lost, get this, over 140 pounds since starting his health and fitness journey. One of the things that I really love, and we'll go into this story a little bit more, is that he was brought into Team Beachbody, into our bigger team, which is called Dynasty Strong, through Chris Pandolfo, who is somebody that I coach. So the reason that I'm super excited to talk with Scott today, this is the first time I've ever had a one-on-one conversation with Scott. So you guys experiencing this live on Facebook are also having the same experience I am as I get to know Scott. But it's really powerful for me and really empowering for me because I'm beginning to see this ripple effect of what happened when I was able to pour seed into Chris Pandolfo, help him in his transformation of his life. As you guys know, he went on to win the Beachbody Challenge, win $100,000 for his family and his transformation. But what's gone further than that is now he's paying that forward to other people. And Scott is one of those people. And, you know, like I said, he's lost 140 pounds, but also he is a coach with our team now and going on and paying that forward to other people. So I love seeing that ripple effect and that begin to spread and see the impact that we can make when one person changes their life and decides to pay that forward. So Scott, with that being said, I want to ask you just some questions. I know when you were younger and before you were battling, battling and struggling with your weight. When did that all begin with you, that fight and that struggle and that battle with your weight?
Yeah, so it's where my mom always used to tell me how when I was young, like pre-8 years old, I was slim. I was a slim petite. And the doctors told her I would be that way the rest of my life. And I might even be a little shorter stature and whatever. So today I'm 6 foot, 230 pounds, so I think the doctor was a little off on that one. But I just find that funny. But anyway, when I was 8 years old, we lost my brother to a now curable cancer. He was 5 years old. It all honestly started there for me. So, bless my parents for being able to make it through that. As a parent, I can't even imagine. I really can't. But anyway, so they were handling their things, and I have siblings as well, younger than they're even younger, to make a long story short. So with that being said, I was did a lot of fending for myself. I did a lot of emotional eating. Not that my parents abandoned me in any fashion. That's not what I'm saying. But they were busy taking care of everything else that they needed to take care of. And I, of course, would say, oh, I'm okay. So, and I was okay. But that meant I would sit there with like butter and saltines and eat a whole package of that. Or it was just weird stuff too. Like looking back, I'm like, why did I even eat that? I don't even know. But it was filling some hole. It also had me spend a lot of time in the woods, which is a passion of mine today. So that's the one good thing that came out of it. But honestly, my weight struggle started about eight years old. So
8 years old. As you talk about that, I can't imagine that either. I'm a father of 5. You're a father. I can't imagine what that's got to be like. And and I think about that and like we can never blame our parents. They go through struggles. They go through things that we can't even understand and even comprehend sometimes. But that put you in that position where you were at and eating the foods that you were eating. So I'm going to have to tell you, I'm not going to try the saltines and butter though. I'm not going to try that as one of my snack foods. But thank you for sharing that. Like how, battling with your weight when you were younger like that and going through the things you went with losing your brother and all of that, how did that affect, like how did battling with your weight affect you emotionally, psychologically?
Yeah, so as soon as I started gaining weight, and it was pretty quick, and I'm trying to go from an 8-year old's memory, so um, it wasn't a good time. It really wasn't. I mean, I just started getting larger and larger, and I was less capable to participate in all the reindeer games, if you will. I couldn't keep up with the other kids, and I don't have a lot of fond memories from junior high, senior high. I did thin out a little bit towards the end of senior high for whatever reason, but I'm still not fit. Nutrition was not a priority. Physical health was not a priority in any fashion. But you know, kids are kids, and they're honest. And I got a lot of comments that probably still stick with me, way back in my mind. And I can think of some maybe right now, but that's all behind me now. You know what I mean? But it wasn't a good ride. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of us deal with those things where things are said to us, or we experience things when we're younger and we carry them into our adult lives like that. I want to ask you just some questions like about where you're at right now, because obviously there's some great change. There has to be something inside. Obviously, we know to lose 140 pounds, we got to follow good nutrition, like put good foods in our body, and we have to exercise, we have to stay active. But so there had to have been some transformation inside as well, that where you're like, Scott, you got to change. You got to, this is what you're capable of. So like thinking of that, so why are you so adamant about your health and fitness journey now? Like looking forward into the future?
Yeah, well, there's several reasons. So, um, if I could just cover my why, if you will,
Yeah.
the so I was watching this guy on Facebook about 2 or so years ago. His name was Chris Pandolfo, like we were discussing earlier. But anyway, I was watching him here and there, and it was actually in a different Facebook group. It was a slow runner group. So my wife owns a running store here locally, and she's super fit. She does marathons, ultra marathons, et cetera, et cetera. She just opened her store. I was watching Chris, and then my mom got sick. This was back in like 2016. She got sick, diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer that basically more likely derived from her type 2 diabetes. Um, my father is a heart transplant recipient, which is wonderful. But he's also type 2 diabetes. And anyway, so I ended up driving 2.5 hours to my hometown every weekend, blah, 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 trying to help out where I could. And then we lost my mom 6 months later, and we moved my dad out here to live with us. So during that point, I came to a realization that I need to do something, or I'm looking at this probably a very similar future. I was way overweight. The doctors are telling me, hey, most of your stuff's okay, but it's going to catch up to you at some point. My sugar was high. My blood pressure was not the best, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then it took me a year or so to settle in, getting my dad here. We had to sell a house, buy a house. I mean, it was like 3 house transactions, 2.5 hours away. So I got all that finally behind me back in 2018. And then I get back to Chris. Then I'm watching this guy on Facebook, and I'm just watching him literally transform from so many things that I could identify with. My confidence was low at that point. My energy was low. My family used to call me the grumpus because I was always like mad. And looking back, I mean, I had plenty of circumstance going on that could have made me cranky, sure, but that wasn't the underlying problem. Now that I know better, you know what I mean? And I watch Chris, and so I sign up for Beachbody, do it for a couple months, get busy, and just bailed out. But I'm still watching Chris, and I'm watching him continue to change. And then in 2018, I was at the a lake house that I go to every year. I'm there, and again, sitting on the boat with my teens and all their friends, et cetera, and I'm too embarrassed to take my shirt off. I mean, it was a big, beautiful lake. I know it seems silly, but I've been embarrassed to take my shirt off for so long. I don't even know the last time I was. Yeah. So, And then, so we get back from vacation that year, and then only a couple of weeks later, Chris wins the Beachbody Championship. And for whatever reason, that just pushed me over the edge with everything that was building that I just described. And I said, all right, if Chris can do this, I can do this. Signed right back up. And it took me till September, but I was talking to him. First week of September 2018, I think it was, I signed up. I started with Body Beast. I love T25. I've been all over the place program-wise, but then I got into 2B Mindset. Absolutely love that. I love to eat volume, and it's funny that watermelon's one of the things that's free in there because I can house half a watermelon. You know what I mean? But I never saw anybody become huge and unhealthy from eating too much watermelon.
There you go.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
But, I haven't seen it.
But anyway, so that's what precipitated the whole thing. So where I'm at today is, and there's more to that story too, honestly. So my wife opened this running store as my mom was getting, right before my mom got diagnosed. It was months. And I'm standing at my wife's grand opening with her. One of the monumental day for her family, to be honest, but primarily for her. I have my own job. I've been there for 20 years. You know what I mean? It's like I have my thing. So now she has her thing. And I'm standing there and I look at the pictures now and I am honestly mortified. I am huge. I mean, I am just huge. And I can see the discomfort in my face. You can just see it. I mean, you honestly can't. And and part of me feels, and all through that time, I had a guilt trip of how am I supposed to help my wife run this business focused on moving your body and being healthy when I'm just saying, for me, I knew I wasn't hitting that mark. You know what I mean? And I would do races and I would do hikes. I would lead hikes. You know how hard it is to lead a hike when you're the last guy? It's really hard. You know what I mean? And so now, so just a couple months ago, my wife, she puts a Facebook post out. They're doing a relay race. It's like 160 mile. I forget what it was, but it's on a old rail line. And it was a relay team and they needed a 8th person. So I just see it and I instantly send her a text, say, I'll do it. How many miles? So even if I was going to walk it, I know I can walk it now. I mean, I can run some of it, but the point is, a few years ago, that would have never crossed my mind to say, hey, sign me up. I'm in. Stuff like that. Am I answering your question? I'm sorry.
Dude, that's great. There's no specific answer to the question. I just want to get to know your story and let the people know your story and how you got inspired. So there's a couple of things that I'm listening to right there, seeing the complications health-wise with both of your parents, the cancer with your mother, the heart transplant for your father, and then leading into this, I was just picturing moments in my life where I felt similar to that, where you were standing at your wife's grand opening and, it's a running store and you don't fit the picture, right? And just how that feels. And I love that. The thing I love, Scott, about you is we're all faced with those types of situations. We all have these hard things or these difficult circumstances that we're put into. And we can make two choices. We can either create like a disempowering thought or an empowering thought from it, which will lead to empowering actions or disempowering actions. And you took those circumstances and had empowering thoughts of, I need to change my life, and then started taking those actions as well. And I think it's cool that you happen to see Chris Pandolfo during all of this on social media. Like the people don't know, I don't know, where do you live? What city do you live in?
I am in a small town east of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's called Altoona. Okay.
So this guy, Scott, is in Pennsylvania, seeing this guy in the UK post about this transformation, being inspired, and now they're great friends. I remember when Chris first reached out to me about you, and I didn't know that you signed up and then canceled your coaching account and then re-signed up and started again. So it was really cool for me to see that, because I know people might be watching this video that have tried before and quit. And, I've seen where they feel embarrassed to come back, or they feel some sort of guilt that they stopped and maybe let the team down and You know, they're afraid to come back. Will I be judged? What will people think about me? But I hope that your story, that's why I'm glad you shared that, will be empowering to them, where they could be like, hey, like, it's okay if you fall down flat on your face or quit. As long as you pick yourself back up and move forward, you're always welcome.
Get back
on this journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you for sharing that. So talk to me a little bit. I know you listed some of the programs that you've experienced, a ton of the programs that Beachbody has to offer. What and how has Beachbody changed your life? What results have you seen? Like, what programs have you done and what results have you seen through those programs?
Yeah, so I prefer personally programs that have weights. I don't know why. I like to lift things up and I like to put them down. But I can also tell you from being 48 years old that I know things my body's going to react to better, and it's always been lifting something. So at least for consistency at a minimum, I enjoy it a little bit, but I get results. I really do. I still have one of my standards is T25. Love it. I can't even explain to you why. I just love it. I can do it in any hotel. So I travel a lot for my job. Not so much in current times, but typically I could be on the road 1,000 miles a week. So another contributing factor to my weight problem. And we'll get to that in a sec. But T25, I literally can do anywhere. I was doing Body Beast even in a hotel gym until you can't get into a hotel gym for most places now. But I like those. I did 80-day. I've done so many, I can't even tell you. MBF right now, I'm loving. I am truly loving it. I did the first 3. Then I took a break. I wanted to throw some beast back in just because I needed my beast fix. And then I'm going to move on to the MBFA. Nutrition is key in so many ways. It really is. I mean, you're fueling your body. There's calories in, calories out. I get that, but what the calories are is important. At least I believe so. Right. And MBF has truly helped me show Shakeology, but just to learn the simplicity of balancing my plate, especially since I travel so much. I can go to a restaurant, get a dinner. It's a lean cut of meat, chicken or whatever, some veggies. I can drink my glass of water. It's for dinner. It's very simple. And early in the day, I have a little bit of carbs with the same kind of thing, but to keep my energy up, like, it makes so much sense once you understand it. It's actually easy. Like, it truly is, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's just in Shakeology. I'm addicted to my shakes. I get all fancy. My favorite is the Snickerdoodle one they posted. You take some vanilla, a little bit of maple syrup, and a bunch of cinnamon, and boom, it's good. Some almond milk, and it's delicious. Like, I can drink that literally every day.
I love it.
But I drink them on the road. I'm driving down the highway. I'll post a picture of myself chugging a shake because that's my snack. Or, I mean, I have to get in at some point. Usually I have that with a salad for lunch, but we'll just see how my day's going. You know what I mean? But that's the main thing. It's consistency. So it's being not afraid to just do it. You don't always want to do it, but you have to do it. And even if you miss a workout, if your nutrition's on point, that's you're halfway there. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
Every day is not perfect. I'm not going to say it is. I haven't done a workout yet today because my schedule hasn't allowed it. I will. I'm probably going to go running after my workout, actually. And I can't wait for the new what's the running one? I can't think of it now.
30-day breakaway.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that. So I did a 5K on Labor Day, set a new PR. It was a whole 50 or 43 minutes. And for me, that's actually fast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It was a trail race, had some, some climbs, but I enjoyed it was the key. I actually enjoyed it. So now I've progressed far enough that I enjoy moving my body.
Yeah.
And I also enjoy, I love to cook, but now when I cook for my family, I'm always on the griddle. I got one of those Blackstone griddles or whatever. But it's all healthy stuff. And it fits it fits my MBF for the most part, to be honest, at least what's going on my plate. And it just works. And my son, he's 17, he's senior in high school. He's lifting, he's drinking Shakeology. He's not doing too many programs yet, but he's moving and he's doing Shakeology. I'll get him there. You know what I mean? So.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you're the example to him. So I have one more final question that I want to ask you. But before I ask you that question, I kind of want to wrap back around to you've lost all of this weight. 140 pounds, right? Or 130?
I want to break 140 any day. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to break 140 pounds. That's absolutely incredible. You talk about some of the things you're doing. You're working out. You love building programs that build your muscle, like do muscle. I'm the same way. I'm doing Body Beast right now. Just finished the MBF. That's Muscle Burns Fat program. Now, somebody might be watching this and being in a position where you were before, right? In the position you were before you were inspired by Chris to start your journey. And it can seem a little scary, a little daunting at first. How simple is it? I say simple and not easy, but how simple is it to do, like if you were to just break down like how these fitness programs and nutrition plans work for somebody that's never experienced it before? Is it something like, how would you explain that to someone? Like how does it work?
Well, it's easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not the workouts, the process to do the workouts. So you get an account, you find one that you think you're interested in, and you try it. And for me, up front early was I had to get over the fact that, hey, I actually can't do all those moves, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Even if I have to modify, if I have to stand there and take a break for 30, 60 seconds, that's okay too. It'll get better. It will absolutely get better the more you do it. And I love the nutrition, especially watching all the videos for 2B Mindset. It's just the way it's presented is very professional, very clear, and it's in the way it's compartmentized or chunked out. It's all in order. It makes perfect sense. I mean, all you have to do is watch the videos. Honestly, one time, get the book, the guide. The tracker guide is awesome. I use that every day. But as far as a product to use, I use it everywhere. We were camping. We have a camping trailer. I was there outside the camper. I downloaded them first because I didn't have signal with my wife and a friend of ours doing MBF in the middle of a trailer park, camping park. We did it every morning. I do it at my cabin, which we have no signal. I do it in hotels, and I obviously do it at my house. I mean, as far as availability, you can't beat it. You don't need, there's plenty of workouts where you don't need weights, you don't need bands, you don't need anything besides just stand there and do it. For me, that's been the key, is it's that accessible, I guess. So
yeah, I love that. Super accessible. You have a trainer telling you exactly what to do, meal plans, and registered dietitian, nutritionist telling you exactly what your plate of food should look like, and it doesn't include saltines with butter on it. Wrapping back to the beginning, it just keeps it real simple. And a lot of people, I think it's going to be, they have to eliminate a lot of the things they love. It's more so just teaching you how much of what to eat. And
right.
Like I love my food that I eat on my meal plan. And it's funny, I think back like 9 years ago when I started living a healthier lifestyle for about a year. I did P90X. I followed the meal plan kind of. And I remember just like I lost weight, but I was not getting enough nutrition. And I was not getting, I wasn't eating veggies. Like I called just eating grilled chicken breasts, broccoli, and like some peanut butter sandwiches as like my healthy eating compared to what I was doing before. And so once I followed the meal plans, like everything changed for me. My health got better. My skin improved, my energy levels came up, and everything just began to change. And that's what I love about the programs. They're super simple like that. So Scott, we've been on for 25 minutes. So I want to ask you, this is preparing you for those of you that are familiar with the Beachbody world. So one day when you're talking on a national wake-up call to the rest of the coaches, all the coaches in the entire network, I'm going to ask you, what is the most rewarding part of being a part of Team Beachbody to you? And how has Team Beachbody, being a coach, doing these programs, changed your life?
Well, obviously it's changed my life in the fact that I am now full of energy. I have, fitness and nutrition as a part of my lifestyle now. It's not just a goal anymore. I actually crave like real, whole, fresh, nutritious food. So that's new for me. And that's all great, but that's not the most rewarding. What's really cool is, like I mentioned my son earlier. He's like, Dad, hey, I've been watching you. We were out in the back deck grilling one day. He's like, hey, I've been watching you, and I was wondering, can I try some Shakeology with you? Can you tell me what, how you do your workout? Is huge, absolutely huge. Then my other son, he goes to college at Penn State, and he's actually Air Force ROTC, and he's asking me for advice for lifting. Like, Dad, how do I get bigger legs? It's not directly Beachbody, but it's fitness, And then he asked me about what I eat, and so that to have that impact on my direct family is one of the largest. But I have friends that, hey, Scott, keep posting all your stuff because you're inspiring me. And I made this change. They didn't sign up for Beachbody yet, but they made this change, that change, because they've been watching my journey. You know what I mean? So that's super rewarding. And I just got to sign up the other day for the same reason. She's a runner. She runs ultras, but she's like, I know I need more strength. And do you have programs in there to help me? I'm like, yes, we do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
does that answer your question? It's the whole thing. I mean, it really is. That's what's so great about it. And then the support network, obviously. I mean, Chris has been great, but there's tons of other people too. And I'm so thankful you and I are now hooked up directly. But I've been watching your stuff for quite some time too. Trust me. And I find tons of stuff inspirational, motivational, whatever you want to call it. So it's a whole package.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things for me. Like, obviously, my goal as a coach is to help the people that I currently have as clients and coaches achieve their goals of living a healthier, more fulfilling life. And, our team name is Dynasty Strong, and we're empowering others to continually develop into their fullest potential. But it's like, I was talking with my wife about this the other day, about running a business like we do with Team Beachbody coaching and making the impact that we make. I was like, Gabby, we're on our weekly Friday date. I was like, it's so hard for me to like every minute of the day, like I'm thinking about people and how I can help them better, how I can serve them better, how I can reach them. And every day I'm sitting there thinking about, like, every time that I write a post, like, it's not just like I want to try to write something to be inspiring to somebody. I'm like, man, how do I reach that one person that's feeling like I was, the first day that I did P90X? Or how do I reach that person that feels exactly like I felt that day when I got all the hospital bills from my third daughter and her birth, and I didn't know like how we were going to pay those when I was already working like a 12-hour work shift. So, Scott, I just want to say, man, it's great to get connected with you. I'm super excited, super pumped that we got to have this interview, and some of our team is on here to watch you live on this Zoom and Facebook as well. And I hope that if you're watching this, that you're empowered as well, whether it's you tried before and stopped, knowing that you can have a comeback like Scott did. Like he signed up and quit and then came back, and he's almost lost 140 pounds. Like, it's not over until it's over. and one of my favorite quotes is like, when you get knocked down, he says, if you can look up, you can get up. And that's what we always teach our kids. And I think you're a great example of that, Scott. Thanks. And I just want anyone that's watching this, whoever showed this video to you, reach out to them, and we'd all be excited to help you on your journey. And one day you'll be telling your story just like Scott. So thank you, Scott. And we'll stay connected, and let's keep going, because we got future Beachbody Challenge winner on our hands right here.
Hopefully.
Okay, we'll see you later, bud.
Thanks, everybody.